In studio with us, head coach DeMeco Ryans. Coach, great to see you. Congratulations.
Great to see you guys as well. Thank you.
Heading into the bye, let's talk about the win, the last two wins maybe, because I wanted to talk to you about process. You mentioned this a lot, focusing on the process more than the outcome. Can you talk about that a little bit?
The main thing when I speak on the process is how are you, as a player, as a coach, like Monday after a game? Like, what's that process like? How are you going back through, figuring out the things where you need to improve, just seeing it on the film? And then you come in on Tuesday, what's your preparation like for the next opponent? Like in Wednesday, how are you practicing? Are you really dialed in on those things you saw you need to correct and fix on Monday and Tuesday? Are you doing them on the field? Coaches, are you designing drills specific to your players and what they actually need to get better at? Not just doing an everyday drill just because you do it, but putting the guys in position that you want to see them in on Sunday. And players, are you just dialed in on your process of taking care of your body the right way? Like, are you getting the reps that you need to get throughout the week? It's just all those things. And as you're going through it, are you working in a deliberate manner through practice? I spoke about Kamari Lassiter and just how he's practiced the past 2 weeks. Like, there is just a heightened awareness, a heightened sense of deliberateness when the ball is up. Like, he was trying to actually put himself in position to take the football away in practice. It's easy. Some guys can get in position and just be there, and you may let the guy catch the ball. You may not finish all the way. But if your process is right and you're really focused on your process, like, how are you as an offensive lineman working your hat placement to be perfect when we're practicing in a walkthrough? Your hands are perfect. Your communication is perfect. Like, if you do all those things right and deliberate for 3-4 days of practice, and you know you've done it right, you know you've poured everything into that process throughout the week, you know you've went and checked in the training room to get any little thing you're feeling, you checked it out, you working on your recovery, your massages, your stretching. If you've done all those things throughout the week, when you step out there on Sunday, you're going to do that again. Yeah. And those results, therefore, will take care of themselves where you play winning ball all throughout the week, or you're going to play winning ball on Sunday.
Coach, at what point did you kind of feel like, you know what? Because we've never won in Baltimore. I know that was something that you talked about after the game. We talked about it all week long. We talked about reliving some of the moments of going to Baltimore. Oh, my gosh. It felt like early on, even when we get the touchdown, like, okay, this is different. Like, there's a different mindset. Did you kind of feel that as well? Like, okay, we're going to be okay today. I mean, I know games can change. You get a lead, and then somebody comes and gets it from you, all that. But did you feel early on as you're watching it, like, we're playing physical, we're running the ball well, we're taking care of the ball, no mistake. Okay, I think we can have a pretty good day today. Did you kind of have that feeling early on, or were you like, well, no, I'm not totally sure yet? What did you think about how the game kind of started and how it then unfolded and ended?
No, I felt it in our warm-ups. For me, I feel it in our warm-ups. How our guys come out, they're ready to go, and then it gets solidified on that first drive of the game, and see our offense drive down the way they drove down the field. Like, okay, we're here. We're ready to battle today, and whatever it looks like, I know our guys are ready to drive the football. They're doing the things we already spoke about doing throughout the week. We're running the ball efficiently. We're winning first down. Like, we're winning third down, playing physical. So when I see all those things get done on the first drive, I know we're in a really good spot for the game.
Did you sense that defensively, too, with the way that Derrick would get to the line of scrimmage? And you talked about this. You can't give him runway. And you get to the line of scrimmage, and you see those feet kind of pitter-patter because he didn't really know where to go. Did you kind of sense that early on with the run game? Like, okay, we're dialed in on them running the football?
Oh, for sure. My main focus, as I told the defensive guys, is I want to build a wall. I want to build a wall and make sure everybody's playing with square pads, making him stop his feet. First couple runs, when I saw that, and the thing that impressed me most when I saw how we tackled. Like, guys were body on body tackling. Like, we know we need to get better at it, and they showed it from the first couple snaps. Guys were swarming. It was 3 and 4 guys at the football. So when I saw that wall being built and guys actually taking our techniques and the coaching points, taking it to the game, it's like, okay, our guys are locked in. We're in a really good mental space. Like, it's going to be a really good game for us.
I was going to bring this up later, but speaking of tackling, Jalen Pitre's tackle on Derrick Henry.
Oh,
that
yeah.
has to fire up the whole team.
Oh, that
inside.
fired everyone up.
Yeah.
You're standing there on the sideline and you just see, you know, Derrick Henry 6'3", and you see Pitre just uncoil, and that's like, wow, what a hit, man. That was impressive, and Pitre played with that confidence and that swagger the entire game, which led to him making a couple more big plays for us, taking the football away, man. It's just, for me, and I got to know you guys are watching as well, like watching Jalen Pitre play football, it's exciting.
It's fun.
Like when you see your kids playing ball and everything, you want them to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing I always tell my kids, make sure you have fun whenever you're doing, when you're playing sports. But watch Jalen Pitre. Like, he is having fun out there, and no better play when I take the starters out. Kamari has to go back in for the last play because Damon Arnett is cramping up. So Kamari goes back in, and the ball is thrown up. And you see, I'm watching the sideline cop. I see Jalen Pitre on the sideline, and he takes off as soon as the ball is up. He knew it was going to be intercepted. Puts his helmet on, runs to the end zone to celebrate. I just love watching Jalen play football.
Yeah, he is. I always wonder about this, Coach, with Jalen. When somebody asks you what position does he play, what do you tell them?
Man,
It's hard to. I mean, it's hard to really. Like, well, you know, he's kind of a linebacker in this play. He's kind of a strong safety at this time, and he's kind of a safety here. He just does, and it looks like, and you talk about the smile on his face, it feels like the joy playing football has definitely been there for at least last year going on to this year.
McLean says he plays defense.
He plays defense.
He's a
I
defensive player.
I think John Gruden calls him the buzzsaw. So he's all over the field, whether it's, I mean, he plays really all three levels, and we want to blitz him.
Yep.
He's on the line of scrimmage playing a defensive line role. He's at his nickel position playing a linebacker role. We put him back at deep safety. Like, he is literally all over the field. He plays every position for us.
Outstanding. All right, offensively, a lot went right. Basically everything went right, it seemed, Coach. What did you like? And is this the result of weeks of work and just ramping up? Maybe that's not the right term, but just developing along the way here. You weren't seeing it early, often enough, and now you are.
Yeah, for us, the thing I liked about the offense, again, the second week in a row is just our commitment to the run game, right? For Kaylee to continue to stay committed to it. And the more you start to run it, you start to pop a few, right? Nick had a really nice run there. We're getting some 2-3 yards run, and there you go, man. There's a 7-9 yard run. Nico getting the jet sweep runner. There was so many different ways that we ran the football yesterday, and that allows us to open up the play action game. And you see CJ play action, drop back, and he has time. O-line did a great job protecting, right? And he's able to deliver to Higgs, to Nico, to everybody because of the running game. So everything starts there. And I know I say it all the time, but to actually see it, you just see how it opens up our offense. Now you get the defense who has to commit to the run game. Second-level guys, they have to bite up for the run fakes. And now we have guys wide open all over the field. But that's because of Kaylee's commitment to it, the way our offensive line, tight ends, and receivers are blocking the run game, and the way our backs are running. It's all 11 mentality, and guys are doing a great job of it.
Feels like great offenses always have wide receivers that block well. And on Chubb's run, you know, X has a great block. It just feels like when wide receivers are out there blocking and giving it up, you know, as Mark and I have talked about, no block, no rock, like they go out there and they do a pretty solid job. The flip side of that is they got to make plays catching the football. You had 7 pass catchers yesterday that caught 2 or more passes during the game. It wasn't just dominated by one guy. You know, we got this star and he catches 12 and everybody else gets 1 maybe. But you had, I think, 3 or 4 guys with 4 or more. What do you think that says about the passing game at this point, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's for us on front of our offense, right? You make a defense have to defend all 11.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the key. You can't, if you want to focus in on Nico, which I know a lot of people will, they focus in on Nico. He draws a lot of attention, and he should because he's such an exceptional player. But then the rookie Higgins, like, he's done an outstanding job of catching the football. And then Hutch, Christian Kirk. You have so many different guys. Jay Noah, Ty Dalton is playing really well. I think in the passing game, what we expect from Dalton, he's doing a really nice job converting some third downs. He's doing a great job of catching the ball with his short passes and getting vertical, gaining more yards. He's doing a much better job in blocking at the line of scrimmage. Like Dalton's doing a really good job just all around. When you have to defend everyone, who are you going to take away, as a defense? So that allows you to play true. You got to play it true, as I call it, right? You can't just double Nico because we got other guys who can make you pay as well. So it's exciting to see our offense continue to develop with us being able to morph into what we need to do to win games, right? And I love how we have a lot of varied formations, a lot of varied groups, using a jumbo package with Blake Fisher now coming in at the tight end position. British Brooks being able to run the football. You guys have so many different nuances to the offense, right? And it just shows the more we're able to stay on track, stay on schedule, you see the variety of plays that Kaylee and the offense has. Yeah.
Coach, CJ just turned 24 years old, an age that I don't remember, but it is young, and it's younger than some rookie quarterbacks out there, including Mertz, I think. So here we go. What do you think of that? Because he's played a lot of pro football already, yet he's such a young man still.
Yeah, wow. 24 years old. Feels like he's much older, much more mature for that. But you see just how much growth is still there, right? The young guy, he's had a great start, to his career, but man, there's so much more out there for CJ. And what I've seen over the past 2 weeks is just him kind of coming into his own, right? Really being that leader, that calming piece for our offense, and just the way he's distributing and making great decisions with the football. That's the thing that sticks out to me. Like, making great decisions, there are no turnovers. Like, he's doing a really good job there and just getting us in and out of the huddle. Like, all the communication that he's doing, changing plays at the line of scrimmage, all the things that we kind of talked about before the season, kind of seeing him get better at that, having more command at the line of scrimmage. So proud of what he's done, and he still has even more room to grow.
Along those lines, guys like CJ, not necessarily just him, but guys who play for college programs, and Johnny brought this up last week with some of the players, who don't lose much in college, maybe 1 a year, 2 a year. And now in the NFL is a tough, rocky road. You're going to have adversity. It's a week-to-week thing. How tough is that psychologically for players to get accustomed to the NFL in that way?
It takes a while for guys to get accustomed to the big boy league. And now when you're in college and you lose that one game, it's like your season could be over. And but here, it's like, no, man, you got to keep going. Like, you're not going to win them all. There's no more, was it 72 dollars? Like, you're not winning them all.
Right.
But, man, how are you bouncing back? What are you learning from that loss? And understanding all of our games are close. So we have a lot of guys, you say, come in, they haven't lost 5 games in their whole career in college, and they come here and they lose, and they kind of don't know how to handle it. So from my perspective as the head coach, like, hey, man, like, what do we learn from it in this loss? You learn from it, you get better, and you move on. You don't dwell on the loss. You don't want one to become 2, 3, 4. Like, you got to fix what you need to fix.
Right.
Because whatever you screwed up the week before, other teams are coming to attack you the same way. So you fix your problems, you press forward, and you go out and play better the next week.
Coach, I was on the bus watching a game on the way home, and I had my headphones on so I could hear it a little bit better. And the parabolic mics are really, really good. But there's a moment in which, I think it's the first drive of the game, and you get in near the red zone, and you can hear some of the communication on the offensive line. And before the ball is snapped, you hear somebody say, "What are we in? What are we doing?" And it was a really cool moment because it was like, man, this is the communication that we all talk about. But actually hearing it, it felt like, and as the game wore on, I continued to listen to that a little bit more. It just felt like the communication continues to grow and get better. Do you think that's because you're having success, or because, no, we have to communicate to have the success?
Yeah, the communication is, man, it's vital for us to even be successful. Like, for our offensive line, again, playing the Ravens and the front structure that they have. So with their defense, they have a lot of different guys that can be at the line of scrimmage, different linebackers. So when we run the football, it's not just as simple as, we're running to the right, block those guys in front of you. It's like, who are we targeting? Like, who are we saying is the Mike linebacker? How are we double teaming and going up to that guy? Well, okay, the picture changed Well, now we need to go to this other guy. So it's a lot of different nuances at the offensive line that they don't get a lot of credit for, but they have to be very sharp. They have to be on it. You have what we call a lot of moving pictures because the picture can change at any given time when D linemen are running stunts or they're in a B gap, but then they stunt to an A gap after the snap. So it's a lot of things that can happen and happen fast for our offensive line, and we expect them to be on it. We try to put them through as many different looks as possible, but it's tough sledding. Right? It's tough duty for those guys, and they don't get enough credit, but they have a lot on their plate, and they've been handling pretty well, and there is still room to improve there.
It was cool to hear it. Just to hear them communicate with one another, like, hey, what are we in? And then the answer came, and then the ball was snapped, and boom. It was like play was run, and it was run nicely. It was just that's the stuff that I think all of us as fans would love to hear, but don't get a chance to. But, man, those parabolics picked it up, and I was like, that's pretty cool just to hear them connect.
Coach, last year the bye was really late in the season. This year the bye is really early in the season, and you have no choice over the matter. You got to take the bye. So how do you handle the bye? Is it any different from last year as far as the way you handle it? What is your philosophy here?
It feels a little weird having a bye right now. It's like I'm not tired enough to have a bye. But it's how we handle it. We'll handle it the same. We'll come in, we'll practice, Wednesday, then give the guys some time away just so they can reset, recharge, be ready to roll, and knowing we have a lot of games ahead of us. But we just have to take it one day at a time, take the advantage of the bye to just recover. That's always my main goal is how do you recover so we're as best as we need to be, we're as healthy as we need to be going to Seattle.
How about you? How about you getting some rest, stepping away? Do you get an opportunity to do that for a little bit?
That sounds great. We'll see what happens. I gotta see. I gotta go check my son out. He's playing football, so I check out a middle school game. And my wife was asking me, "What do you want to do for the bye?" And the kids happen to be out of school like Thursday, Friday.
Oh, wow.
So I said, "Whatever you guys playing, I'm up for it. So let's go." Great. So I let them plan it. We'll see what happens.
As far as self-scouting goes, a lot of talk about that, but does that go on that much? How much of that do you do during the bye versus other times? Because I feel like you guys are always self-scouting.
Right, correct. We're always self-scouting. I like to see the picture, see where we are, like 3-4 games into it. I like to get a snapshot of where we are, what are the numbers saying for us and what adjustments we need to make. So that's always been huge for me with self-scout piece because you can go along in a week and think you're doing some things well, but the numbers may say this, they may tell a different story. So I always make sure I'm on top of that so we can change it and make sure we're keeping our opponent on their toes as well.
Coach, I know there's a bye week, but should it help you at all that you face Baltimore one game and then the next game is Seattle, that there might be some similarities between them at all?
Very much so. There are a lot of similarities. We know, Coach Mike McDonald was the defensive coordinator there in Baltimore, so they're carrying some of the very similar defensive structures. And then you just look at it from a player perspective, right? And when you're talking about defense, all right, who do you want to attack? Sure. When it comes to it, but the fronts, the structures should be the same. So we should have a lot of carryover from what we've done. And I love it when we can keep things the same so the guys aren't learning new things. Hey, remember we did this 2 weeks ago. Same thing, same blocking scheme, and let's go out and execute it.
We'll talk more about this next week, but the Texans have only been to Seattle twice in franchise history.
Wow.
But you've been there a lot because you were in the division as a coach. So tell us what it's like to play at Seattle.
At Seattle, first and foremost, it is loud. It's very loud. Unique stadium. The way they have it built out is very, very cool stadium. The sound kind of reverberates and it sits in there. So it's a very, very loud stadium. You never know what type of weather you're going to get. Ooh. Sometimes it can get a little cool, a little rain, so you never really know. It was never like sunshine, great weather. I know we're playing at night, so we'll see how the weather is. But I also say what you're going to get passionate fans. Like their fans, they're loud, they're rowdy. You're going to get a passionate fan base. As we come out of our tunnel, there's going to be a guy standing there with a sign, and he's going to –
He got after Baker yesterday.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah.
He's probably one of the best. And when you come out of the tunnel, you guys see it, man. He always has something great and something personal, something really geared toward that team or towards that player. So he really gets under a lot of guys' skin. But it's always fun.
He did that to Baker yesterday. And Baker was firing back, and then they had an after the game shot, and he was, Baker was doing his thing, pointing up at him. So yeah, I've been warned about that guy.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him in 2017. I guess it's the same guy. He's got the same spot
Same
there.
spot.
So it's gonna be
like
fun.
Fireman Ed with a sign,
Yes.
maybe.
Yes.
That kind of thing. The Amogy Bank Ask Coach question of the week. All right, bye week, Coach. So now you can kind of get off your diet a little bit. I'm just kidding. Last week we asked you about the Pizza Hut question, but what is the cheat food if you're going to have, I want to have a meal and just go all out here? What is it going to be? Something that might not be on the regular DeMeco Ryans diet schedule.
Not on our guy, not on Lad's menu.
Yeah,
The,
exactly. What are we doing
the
here?
lemon pepper chicken wings always get it for me. Those are that will be my go-to there.
I'm hungry. That sounds good.
Yeah, very nice.
That sounds
Very
real
nice.
good,
Got the
actually.
Buffalo Wild Wings special going on here.
There we go.
Still, Coach, thanks a lot.
Right.
Have fun
Thanks,
during the
guys.
bye. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, appreciate it, guys.